Welcome back. This is part 2 of Brittany's closet evaluation. We're picking up where we left off. Thanks so much for coming back, and let's get to it.
Okay, so that's kind of what I would recommend for shoes like this. I think that you would do these shoes more justice if you had them presented well. These are reusable. They're a pack of a bunch, 6. I literally think I'm gonna die. Anyway, so yeah, it's a good pack there. So I will tell you, they do break easily, like if you step on them or something, but they're so inexpensive that it's not a big deal, and you really only need 1 or 2 of them. So anyways, I would get something like that to present shoes of this nature, especially this is a decent brand of shoe, and it's just kind of like flumped there, and none of the pictures are really doing it much justice. Okay, so another thing, I didn't even notice this. Okay, so you can get, what's it called? Oh goodness, I forgot what it's called. It's got a name, tag remover. It's not called a tag remover. There we go. Perfect. Scotty peeler. Okay, so you can get a Scotty peeler. This is a whole set. You don't need a whole set. You can just get one if you want. But these will remove those tags that are on the bottom there. That right there, that's not going to go over well. I mean, yes, we source from Goodwill. Yes, that's a legitimate way to source. We just don't advertise that we source from Goodwill. So definitely get those off before you photograph them, or if for some reason you can't, be very careful not to photograph that part of the shoe right there. You could also run these under some just like warm soapy water, just gently, and take like a scrub brush, just a dish scrub brush, and kind of scrub some of that dirt off. It would just make them look a little bit better, because the bottoms look much more worn, because I think once you have that shoe holder thing on there, like this doesn't look that worn. Like the leather on it looks pretty good. Is it leather? Don't know. Oh, this goes all the way up the leg. Okay. You might even see if you can find these Sam Edelman Gladiator heels. Let's just, I don't know. We probably won't, but you know what? I feel like that these probably exist in a picture somewhere. Or so, I feel like that you're going to get something. Yeah, we're not going to find it. But something similar, by searching, you might be able to find something that matches that. So another thing I will say is I a little bit suspect this might be leather, because Sam Edelman does make a lot of leather shoes, and it kind of looks suede. Then again, it could not be, but guess what? I don't know, because there's no picture. This is what I need to see, and I can't see it. Right in here should have first of all, your proof of size. Because I want to know, if I'm going to buy something, I want to actually see the size. I don't just, because you could have typoed it or whatever. So your size is going to be in there. The other thing that's going to be in there is what is this made out of? And if these shoes are leather and you've got them listed for $10, you are cheating yourself. This is a decent brand. And if these are leather and you can get a good picture of them, and you remove that little tag right there, and you spend 30 seconds just cleaning off the bottom of those right there, or with a Clorox wipe even, take a Clorox wipe and just soak that off real quick. Just make it so that it's not as obvious. You could be way underselling yourself. These could possibly go, $30 or $40. Let's see what they've got over here. Yeah, see? Yeah. But like now look at the quality of these listings. Okay, and these aren't new. None of these say new with well, that's got a box, but they don't have new with tags on there. But these are much better quality of listing in that the picture, the cover photos are the shoes look better. You know, they just look better. Like these look like shoes that I would want to buy and wear. Actually, I wouldn't because these would all hurt my feet. But I mean, if I was, if this was my jam, these would be shoes I would want to buy and wear. As opposed to if you put yours next to those, I mean, yeah, you might get $10 for them. Because this isn't a good picture. We just don't have good photos here. There's nothing wrong with these shoes, I don't think. I think the shoes are okay. We just need to put more into prepping them for photos and then taking good photos. Without diving too deep into your shoe photos, I do notice you have a lot of shoes. So I'm just going to go over here real quick. I'm going to need to get some links to put into my description here because you can get a light box. And I have one and they're not very expensive. It's a good little investment to have. I think this is, well, I did not pay that for mine, so that must have more than what I have with mine, but mine's just a little, it looks like that. Let's see, maybe this is something. Yeah, this is very similar to mine. I don't use these different colors, but this looks like mine. And it's got like a little hole at the top you can open up and take a picture straight down if you want to. But it just holds like some of your smaller things. And, shoes, it's really good for shoes. And it doesn't necessarily always give me the best cover photos per se because, hold on, where did I just see some pictures of shoes? Okay, I probably have pictures of these inside here. Like my cover photo looks a whole lot nicer, but like here's my box. Excuse me. And it does like, give me these little creases here, and that kind of drives me insane. But I wouldn't use those as my cover shot. I would very easily take that out, but this is giving me good lighting because this box has its own lighting. See, there's an example of me getting that tag. Okay, so that I've got my size and, where it was made and my fabric, even though on this particular shoe, the fabric's not anything in particular. It's just canvas probably. But you can find, let's see, do we have some leather shoes? I think these are leather. Yeah. Okay. So right there's the tag. Not only that, but it's also got this name of the shoe, which makes it easy to find the pictures. As you can see, like the picture I used as the cover shot, that is a stock photo. So that right there is a stock photo. It's this stock photo that I put my branding on. But then these are the actual shoes. And this is a style that's intentionally distressed. And then I have the picture of the tag that's got the size, the style, and then you can see the word leather right there. So I can get leather in my title, which, anytime you can get leather in your title, that's a big deal. Let's see. So so let's take an example. Like this is a stock photo. Okay, I just know that because I remember taking these. So this one is a stock photo of this shoe. Okay, there's the stock photo. There's my shoes that I have in the light box that I have. So it's not doing them quite as much. It's not getting them quite as good of the lighting, but they actually do look more like this. They actually are that like a little bit lighter. The lighting wasn't hitting very good. I think I took those pictures in the evening. But so that's a cover. That is a stock photo. But then this right here is a picture I took in my Lightbox. So there's my Lightbox photo, and there's the cover shot I created with the Lightbox. But I feel like the quality's like this quality is just as good. And these are the same thing here. This is my Lightbox. Like there's the Lightbox photo because I couldn't find a stock photo. But I mean, I feel like that looks good too. So I would recommend that, if you want to start upping your ante and moving into being, more of a business, I would invest in a Lightbox for your shoes and your smaller accessories and things of that nature. It's just going to get you better lighting. They may not give you the perfect cover shot, but they're going to also make it, even if you don't get the perfect cover shot, they're real easy to pop over here into photo room, wherever photo room is. I don't ever use my computer. They're real easy to pop over here and to change it to get that clean, crisp background. There's white. That's what I wanted. To get that clean, crisp white background if that's what you want. I personally don't do the white background because, I got to be colorful. So I've got, all my little pretty colors that I've got. And you can see here's one that I've not updated. This is an old listing that hasn't made it to my updates yet. But ultimately my goal is to get all these branded cover shots like that. Okay, so that is one suggestion. There is for you to get a Lightbox. So it's gonna help you get rid of some of the shadowing. Okay, because it's got a kind of an all over glow, and it's just gonna get you that better quality. And then with the shoe insert and the Lightbox, and then the good removing of the background if you need to, just for your cover shot. You don't have to edit every single photo, but you should put some effort into editing your cover shot because you want your cover shot to be, it's the first impression, and you're competing. You are competing. So let's see. You are competing against let's see who your competition is. This is your competition. Okay? This right here. This is who there's your sad looking picture right there. Okay? Okay? You see what you're competing against? Are you looking at the prices of what you're competing against? Because look at what they're asking. Okay? Look at the prices they're asking for the same type of thing you've got. You know what? I bet that's their shoe right there. In a black. I bet you that right there is your shoe in a black. Sherry wrap. Okay? I want you to take note of that right there. Sherry wrap. I want you to look that up. Okay? Because I think that is your shoe in a black. Almost positive. I mean, I can't 100% tell because I can't see your whole shoe, but based on your description, I think that's your shoe. And you could probably search that title and find a stock photo of your shoe. But anyway, so what did they get theirs listed for? They've got theirs listed for $35. Okay? So this is the competition. This is who you're up against. This is who you're competing against to even look at your listing. Okay? So, you got to get that photo better so that they click on you. Because if I was looking, I could be looking for your exact shoe. I mean, I could be looking for that shoe. That might be exactly what I want, but I can't even tell what it looks like. So it's really important. I mean, get it on somebody's foot. I mean, even if you have nothing else, like get it on a foot. Find a friend or somebody that can put that on a foot, because look at the sell potential you have here. You've got it listed as $10, but you really could take your price. Like I was saying, I mean, I've sold this brand, and you really could easily take your price, easily take it to 35 or 40. Even if you sell for 25 or 30, 25 or 30 is better than 10, and you're going to end up having to offer a discount on that. You're going to get nothing. I mean, even if you got that at the bins, is that even worth your time? Even if you spend $1 or $1.50 or $2 on those at the bins, even if those were donated to you, you're going to sell that for, if somebody buys it for $10, you're going to get, let's see, you sell it for $10, you're only going to get 7, because Poshmark's going to take their $2.95. Was $7 even worth it? I mean, I don't even know that $7 was worth taking the pictures and putting them up there. So, I mean, these are things to think about. Like, you have to, if the product is something that's worth selling, worth your time to take the pictures, create the listing, share the listing, pay one shop to take care of the listings for you, blah blah blah. If it's worth it, you've got to put the front end in on the pictures. You have to. Okay? And some of this stuff is going to pay for itself. Things like the little shoe inserts. I think that person's got a shoe insert in theirs right there. I think I see it. So things like these shoe inserts, your light box, they're going to pay for themselves, tenfold, over and over and over for you if you can get the shoes and sell them, and you're going to sell, get another pair and sell those, and get another pair and sell those. But instead of selling them for, a $7 profit, providing you got them for free, you're going to sell them for, $30, $35, $40 and make a $20 or $25 or a $30 profit off of them. And that's going to add up, and it's going to pay for itself. Sell 2 or 3 pairs of your shoes, and you just paid for the stuff that you put in, and now you have that equipment to last you, forever and ever. This has got to have something in it too, because there's no way that's staying that pretty. Those things will pay for themselves quickly. They're not big investments. They're little investments that are just going to take you over the edge and get you so that you're competitive in this group. This group of shoes that are Sam Edelman Gladiator heels, the group that you are in, that you are competing against. You'll have the photos that you can compete against these shoes, and therefore you can put a price tag on them that is also competitive within this group. I'm almost positive these shoes are leather. I'm almost positive that these shoes are this same exact shoe right here, which says suede, which means they're leather. So you are so underselling yourself right here. And you may never sell these. You may sit on these shoes for, months and months and months and months and months. And you don't have to. Or if you do have to sit on them for a while, at least get your money's worth. At least get a good listing out there so that you can get a good sale price, so that you can make some profit if you had to sit on them forever. Okay, we've beat that horse. That's unlike those. Okay. This one, I'm just going to say one quick thing about. You killed yourself on your picture here because you're not in square mode. So make sure you're taking your pictures in square mode. This photo also would have been so much better in a light box. All these shadows would be gone. Your color would be showing really well in the color shoes. I see what you're going for here. You're going for that shoe flat lay look. I get it. That's good, because it's really showing the platform and this heel and everything. And that box that I showed you with the cutout on the top, you could have got this picture real nice with that cutout hole in the top. You would have looked right down over it with your camera, with your phone, whatever you're taking your pictures on. I mean, I use my phone. You would have just looked right down over them. You would have put your phone in that square mode so that your pictures are all being taken in square, so that they're all perfectly aligned to go onto Poshmark. And then you get right in that square mode and you're good to go. And that picture would have been beautiful. Worst case scenario, you might have had to just, take out the background real easy on Photoshop, free Photoshop over here, just erase the background so you have a nice clean white background, because you might have had like the edges like this right here. I tried to avoid, especially for my cover shot. That's fine. This I wouldn't have cared about in my other pictures, but I would not put my cover shot with that right there. Just a pet peeve. I wouldn't put my cover shot with all these shadows. Even if you don't want to get that box. So say we don't even get that box. Okay. So let's pretend that we don't have the box. Okay. We're not going to invest in the box. And all we're going to do, let's first make sure we have our square. Okay. So let's pretend we've taken this in a square image. Okay. So now let's go over and get rid of these flipping shadows. Okay. So we're going to replace that with this picture of these shoes. Okay. So we're not feeling the fact that we've got the shoe cut off. So let's just pretend that we've just got one shoe in this picture, which it's okay to have a picture with just the one shoe. That's fine. And then let's what did I do? I got a little bit of shadow in there. Let's erase that out. That's better. Okay, so maybe we're not feeling this angle. We're just gonna have this one shoe. There we go. There we go. There's a nice, significantly better picture for your cover shot. That is a better picture than what we've got. It's more appealing of a picture than what we've got. You could do the same thing with this one. And this isn't taking any time. And this is free photo room that I'm using. I'm not using the paid for version. This is the free version. Okay? Not them fancy. There we go. That was it. Okay? And that could be your cover shot. I mean, those aren't, I'm not saying that now I'm saying it's a 10, but I'm saying that's more like an 8. My pictures aren't a 10, they'd have to be professional to be a 10, but that brought it up to like maybe an 8, where what we've got right here, we got 5 or 6. I would have, if you couldn't get both shoes in, I'd have cropped this so it was just the one, because that looks accidental, and you don't want it to look accidental. You want it to look intentional. So either get both of them in there intentionally or get one of them if you can't get both of them, but don't have your picture cropped to where you're losing part of it because it looks accidental, and that takes away from your professionalism. You want to come across, if you're going to up your game to be a professional and be more of, a small business, making $1,000 profit, that's your goal. That's your first goal that you're wanting to hit, is $1,000 profit a month. And I'm sure when you hit that, you'll want to hit something else, because we all do. So you have to keep moving forward. And that little things like that are just enough to go, oh, this person isn't professional. This person's not a professional seller. I want to buy from a professional seller. And guess what? You might have been able to add another $5 or $9 onto this price, because that's a good pair of shoes. If it's a good shape, you might be able to add a couple dollars to that just because your listing's better. You've improved your listing. Okay, so I know we're talking a lot about pictures. Again, I would get rid of the dashes. Suede platform heels, chunk heel, size 8. Perfect. I would get the color. I think they're brown. Yep, I would get brown in there. Maybe buckle. Peep toe, or either peep toe or open toe. I think they're peep toe. Those are words you could get in there. If you need to abbreviate, so you've got, for size here, you've got 5 characters being used. If you don't need this little thing here, if it's better to get meaningful characters in there if you're running out of space, because people are going to search. People are going onto Google to search. So, what if they search, Michael Kors a suede peep toe, well, there's going to be a whole bunch of suede peep toes that are going to pop up, and yours might be the 100th down on the list because you don't have the word peep toe in there, even though your shoes are peep toe. So we don't need to waste 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters on that stuff. Plus, if you need 2 more characters, you can abbreviate size to SZ. So there's another 2. There's another 9 characters, and I don't even think you're maxed out here. So you could add a lot more characters in there. You could get the color. You could get peep toe. You could get the word sandal, because that's kind of a sandal because it's got that strap. So you could get the word sandal in there. There's a whole bunch of different things you could go. You could even get boho. You've got boho here. You could sneak boho in there if you have room. That's boho is a more meaningful way to spend 4 characters than the dashes and this colon and the extra letters in the size. The BOHO are more is a better way, more bang for your buck way of using characters. Okay, let's go back here. We'll get rid of that baby and we'll get rid of that baby. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so one thing that I looked at with this is, actually, let me back up. I'm going to back up because I'm going to come back to this in a second. One thing that I noticed with your tops, I'm going to give you another investment thing that you need to get. I'm giving you all these investments. Okay, but they're small investments that are going to just up your game, that are going to pay off in the long run. Okay, they're just going to pay off in the long run. First of all, I will tell you, I thought it was cute to get the dress form with, well, this isn't the one I have, but I've got the one with all the little, pretty, there it is, this right here. This is what I have. Don't be me. Don't get the cute one with all the little characters, all the writing on it and everything, because if you have anything that's even the least bit sheer or white or anything, this stuff shows through, especially when you hit it with lights. So just stick with the plain white mannequin. I wouldn't even do the black mannequin. I would stick with the plain white mannequin. And you don't need to pay that much. I probably thought when I was first getting it that this was so cute and I'll pay the little bit extra money, but it really doesn't look good in some of my pictures. I'll actually see if I can show you one, just to show you why I'm not going to do that in the future. So, and I really wouldn't do the hanging ones. I would really get one of the standing up dress forms. And I'm looking for like a white, because I would really do, like, this one's good. This is good. Okay. That's not crazy. You could probably get it a little bit cheaper if you look around. Like, here's another one, $32. Okay. So this is reasonable. Okay. I've had mine for probably at least a year and a half, and I still use it. I will probably replace it soon just because I want to get rid of the writing. I just don't like how that's showing up in some of my pictures. Here's $32. Get this. Why are they charging so much for shipping? Don't get that one. Okay, so you get the gist of this. Like, this is going to be something that's going to really up the ante in your closet. Okay, so let's go back to, like, looking at your whole closet for a second. I could have got it from right here. Okay, so we've got a lot of, what did I click on? I clicked on something by accident. I'm sorry. Whenever I figure out how to use my computer, there is a lot, when I get past all your shoes, of top. You've got good organization. You've shared based on category, but where are your tops? Okay, even these coats. Okay, so this isn't bad. These are not bad pictures. These are okay. I can see the item. They're on a clean background, blah, 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 blah. But you could make them look better by having these things on a dress form, just because it shows how it fits as opposed to just being on a hanger. It really shows how the item fits. I think that's a little investment that you could make that would just give your items a little bit of an extra boost for your cover shots, so that there's anything wrong with the way you've got them hung. I just think that it's more appealing. I mean, I would be more likely to buy, if all else being equal. I just think that these items would present themselves better if I put, this picture of this shirt next to the picture of this shirt on a dress form and put them right next to each other, and everything was the same except one was on a hanger and one was on a dress form, I think I would be more drawn as a buyer to the one on the dress form because I can see how it kind of fits on a body. I hope that makes sense, especially when you start getting into like tank tops and things of that nature. But I'm going to give you a little double usage for it. I don't sell belts, but I noticed the reason I had that belt tagged is because I noticed that you have belts. Okay? And you just kind of have them like laid there. Like this is really pretty. This one right here is really pretty belt. Genuine leather. You could probably get more money than that. But anyways, they're just kind of like laid there. And I'm going to show you, I just did a search for belts last night. And I noticed that people are putting them, well, now I'm not finding any, of course. Maybe it was just belt that I searched for. Because I noticed that people were putting them, excuse me, on the dress form. Okay, here's like an example of one. Like, see, it's just like on the dress form. And here's, like, pretend this didn't have clothes on it. The belt's on the dress form. Anyways, I did find a lot of pictures, and now, of course, I'm not seeing any. Here's one with the belt on there. That just gives you another usage for your dress form so that you're like, oh, hey, I can also put belts on it. If you had things like hats, necklaces, stuff like that. See, this looks really good. Can you imagine, like, if this was just, like, curled up in a circle like that? Like, that just looks so much better. Even this, like, I don't know what that belt really looks like. You want $225 and I can't even, I would scroll right by that. I wonder what it looks like inside. But this would be better if this was on a dress form. I could see, like, what this belt actually looks like. Oh, look it. There they go. They have it on a dress form. Why don't they have that as their cover shot? That right there is much more, it needs to be cropped. I don't like the cropping, but that is a much more, I like that picture better than that. I don't know why they would do that. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. That would not be my decision. I just kind of feel like the closer you can get the item to a real life scenario, the more the person who's looking can imagine it being used in real life, and they can imagine it for themselves, if that makes sense. So the closer you can get that to being real life, the better. Okay? And even if you want to put it with clothes, like even if you don't want to just like lay it there on the dress form, like say you want to just get like a plain white top, a plain white, some type of top or shirt or something that's not going to be distracting, that's going to be like just a top, like real plain, and then put the belt and really highlight the belt. Think about if you've ever watched like any modeling shows where they're selling a product or whatever. Like, it's all about getting that product, like the models in the picture, and there's they're wearing all these clothes, but really the shoes is what's being advertised. So like the way they take the picture is advertising the shoes. So you could have this dress form with clothes on, but you need to take the picture in a way that you're highlighting and advertising the belt, but it looks like it's being like in a real life situation, so that the belt looks more appealing to the buyer. Okay, so let's go back to the things that I like from you. Okay. So the thing I was going to say about this shirt is I would recommend getting a dress form and having all of your shirts, tops, jackets, blah, 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 anything that you can put on a dress form, put it on dress form. I don't put jeans and shorts and stuff like that on them because it's a real pain, and it doesn't really do them any justice. It kind of looks odd, actually. But any tops or, sweaters, jackets, coats, dresses, things like that look great on a dress form. But one thing I noticed about this picture is you've got this pretty embroidery, and I just noticed that there's no like close-up shots. Yes, somebody could do that and like zoom in on it. Yeah, they could do that, but it would be really good if you took like a close-up picture of the embroidered area. So let me kind of show you kind of what I do sometimes with these. Wonder if I can find something quick and easy that's gonna have okay, well, this isn't really embroidery, but I bet I have a picture similar to that in this one. It's kind of like what I'm talking about. Do I? No. Okay. Sorry. That was a waste of time. I swear I have something. Anytime I have a cool fabric or embroidery or anything like that, I try to get a picture. You know what? I bet I have something of this because this has got cool embroidery on it. And this is a fairly recent. Okay, so see, like I've got like this close-up picture of the embroidery. Okay, and you have what is it, 16 pictures that you're allowed to post. So, take advantage of all of that. The more the better. I mean, use all your pictures that you have available to get to sell your product. I mean, that's a gift that Poshmark's giving you, is all those pictures, and really make use of it. I wonder if I have a close-up of this. I was trying to show you one where sometimes I'll put it at like an angle. That's not really doing it either, but it is a close-up of the fabric. But sometimes I'll put the camera at kind of like an angle so that it's getting a close-up of all the fabric, but it's also catching a large portion of it. I try to do that sometimes too. But anyways, okay, again, we could start getting into this title. Get rid of the dashes. Boho embroidered blouse. Let's talk more about it. What color is it? It's not only is it boho, it's striped. You have these tassels. That's something you could put. You could get the size in there. You could put the word casual in there. That's the other thing. Like when you have like career wear or office wear or things that are casual or things that are dress or formal or whatever, those are good keywords too. But there's a lot of other words you can get in here. I'd like to know what fabric it is, because you could put, that's possible that's linen. I'm not sure. But anytime you have things like linen, silk, wool, sometimes cotton, leather, suede, cashmere. I'm trying to think of other fabrics. Any, fabric that is like embroidered or, whatever. Anything that kind of makes the fabric more desirable or more worth more or whatever, get those words in there, because those are going to make your listing more valuable. It's going to show the why you can charge what you're charging for your items. So let's look and see what we got. Oh, this is Anthropologie. You need to have, if this is an Anthropologie brand, you need to have Anthropologie in your title. If it is, I'm not we don't actually have, I sell some Anthropologie stuff, but I'm not super familiar with it. Okay, so here's an example of like, this is your shirt and here's somebody else's. Like, they're very similar, and here's another one. These are very similar blouses. They're very similar, but I'm automatically drawn. Like, I'm very much drawn to this one, okay? So not only are we on a dress form, but we're also got a clean white background. Like, this has got a white background, but it's all the shadows. So, like, that's one simple little photo room, click, 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 and we've got those shadows gone, and that is just popping so much more off the screen. Like if you take a step back, this is the one that's popping off the screen. And that's what you need to think about. So this is your competition. These are who you're competing against to sell your shirt, to sell that top. Are you doing it justice? And show value in what you've got so that you can charge more for it and sell it at a higher price. Like, these people are not afraid to throw $30 and $40 price tags on their stuff. So, and you don't need to be either. You don't need to undercut yourself and be down here at $16 if you can improve this. And I mean, this quality shirt is probably the same as this quality shirt, but they're $12 higher than you. Okay, and you've actually got a more desirable size, because an extra small, extra smalls and smalls are a dime a dozen. You've got a medium. So your size is actually a more desirable size than the extra small is. You're just not doing your listing justice in your photos, in your and in your title. Yeah, I mean, just really be very thoughtful and think about how you're doing that, because I think you could easily raise that price by at least $10 to $15 with a quality, that's new with tags, with a better quality listing. It has nothing to do with the item. It's the same exact item, but it's how you're presenting it. And if you want to be able to charge more for it and get from that $700 a month to that $1,000 a month, you have to present your items in a way that you can charge more for the items you're selling, because I think they're worth more. I think they're worth more than what the price tag you're putting on them. You're not valuing your time and your energy and your product as much as you need to, and you're not demonstrating that into your listings and getting that really into your listings. Okay, so we beat that horse. Okay, let's see. Why did I pull up these? Oh, one thing I noticed about these is this brand was spelled wrong. So that's going to make it hard for if somebody was searching for this exact pair of pants, this exact pair of jeans, this misspelling right here, this typo is going to hurt you. Also, you need to have the brand in your title too, because that's not enough. So all that's going to do is, if somebody is at the brand page itself, it's going to, populate into the brand page itself. But if you don't have the title in here too, if someone's just Google searching, they may not find it. Boyfriend, capri, distressed, jeans, size. So you could, get machine in there. If you need more space, you could decrease that. You've got that tag. I was gonna say, are these made in Italy? You've got a lot of brands I'm not familiar with. They must, are they made in Italy? That's made in China. Okay. They're cotton. This is called whiskering. This right here, you can put that in your description. Light wash. You could say like heavy whiskering. Do you have your rise? No. So you want your rise, and then not only in a measurement, because rise is a big deal with style of jeans, as far as, what's in fashion. So, you really want to have that rise in there too, in either a measurement of a picture or measured over here, and then a written description of what it is. Is it low? Is it mid? Is it high? Is it extra high or super high? Is, whatever. So you also want to get that in there too. You're doing a good job with your style tags, of using your style tags. One thing I would say right here is, like, if you did have the rise, I would get rid of the word jeans and put the rise in there. And I don't know what machine. Let's see. Come on, computer. Quit. We'll just say boyfriend capri. Well, these are not popping that brand at all. I don't know why my computer does that. So now let's see if we can do boyfriend capri. Oh, that took me out of that brand. Dang it. There we go. Oh, see, I mean, you literally got machine boyfriend capri, and yours are not showing up when I search machine boyfriend capri because the word machine is spelled wrong in your brand. Okay. So I guess these are fairly decently priced. So I would just maybe work on and make sure that you've got yours priced competitively, but in a good profit. We'll get back there someday. Sooner or later. How many searches did I do? There we go. So, I feel like you could probably go higher in this price because remember, you want your listing price to be high enough that you could provide a discount and potentially discounted shipping and or free shipping and still make some money. So, if you were to provide even a 10% discount on this, so even if you did offers to likers and you did a 10% discount in the discounted shipping, so then you're looking at 18, and then Poshmark's going to take, about 3 of it. So then you're at 15, and then the discounted shipping is going to bring you down to 11 or 11. So you're going to get $11 for these. Or you could bring this up to 25 or 29 or, 30 or whatever. And once you give that discount, you're going to take home $20 instead of $11. But you have to have this on point. You have to have, everything. Your A game needs to be on. This needs to be spelt right. You need to get your brand up here. You need to have your title just with every word you can think of, and use all your characters. And you need more pictures with measurements. So that when someone comes here, you don't want them to have any question. You don't want them to say, "Oh, I don't know if this will fit me or not. I like it, but I don't know if it's going to fit me," or, whatever. You want to have every question answered, every T cross and I dotted. At least you got tags here. That's good. So you want to really answer every possible question that the buyer could ask. And then you want your title and your cover shot to be competitive. If somebody was searching for your exact item, are they going to find it? Is yours going to pop up in the list? Is it going to be at the top? Are they going to find it? And then is your cover shot competitive with the other people's that are in there? Okay, so the reason I took this one is because this photo is not giving these shoes any justice at all. So it's really the focal point of this shoe is this leopard or not cheetah print up at the front, and that angle is just not catching that good. It's really getting this back strap and almost making this shoe look kind of clumpy or frumpy. And I know it's not meant to be. So I would really advise trying to get angles that make this shoe look sexy, because you've got animal print. So this has got to be a more sexy shoe to have animal print. So find a way to get an angle that's going to make this shoe, this cover shot is just, it's not even the best out of the ones you have. Like that one is already better. You want to get as much of this and as little as this, because this is frumpy looking and this is sexy looking. So you want to maximize this right here and minimize this area, if that makes sense, when you're taking your picture, to really make it look and appear feminine and sexy while also having this nice big strap and this comfy cork. So that's as far as the picture. I don't see anything about a brand on here. I have no idea. You've got a size, so one thing that people like to ask about shoes is how high is the heel? How high is the platform? Okay. And you can simply just hold a tape measure, take a picture, hold a tape measure, take a picture. You don't have to do anything else. So there's how high the platform is. There's how high the heel is. That's probably 1 inch and that's probably 2 inches, but I can't tell on the picture. And I would literally be guessing if I was buying. And what if I was really tall? And I'm not sure, and I can't just, which I am really tall, but what if I'm kind of like, ooh, I really like these, but these look like they're going to add, like, I don't know if that's going to add, 1 or 2 inches, or if that's going to add 3 or 4 inches. Like, how much is that going to add to my height? So those are things that that buyers are thinking about when they're shopping. And I've gotten that question many times, which is why I've learned that anytime something has a platform or a heel, I just go ahead and put a tape measure when I'm taking the pictures. I always have my tape measure sitting there, and I just hold it up, snap a picture, hold it up, snap a picture, done. Put it in my listing. No big deal. Don't have to do anything else, and the questions are answered. Okay, if this has a brand, get it in there. Leopard. I think that's actually more cheetah, but you could also get animal print in there. So sometimes if I don't know exactly which animal print is, sometimes I'll put both, leopard and cheetah, because they are hard to tell the difference between. You could put animal print. Is this kind of looks like that, what's it called, cow fur or whatever that's called, where it's fuzzy. Maybe see if you can get that in there. I would also say something about, you've got this elastic strap. Is this right here leather? That might be leather. But I don't know. Like, look, see if there's anything on the, printed on the inside or anything that says what that fabric is. It looks like it could potentially be leather. It might not be. But those are things that can, not only increase your likelihood of showing up in the search engines, but also increase the value of the shoes you're listing, so that you can, either increase your price or justify the price that you're asking for, better, so that people aren't like, oh, well, I don't even know what brand that is. Like, this is going to be so hard to find. This is going to be so hard for this shoe to even pop up on a search. And then when it does, this is the picture that's going to show up in the search. It's not that great of a picture. I see little kitty cat furs right here, which is fine. I have a kitty cat too, but they don't need to be in your picture. So the quality of that picture needs to be better. The angle needs to be better. And then once all that's said and done, pop it over here into Photoshop and get rid of all that background so that we don't have kitty cat furs. Kitty cat furs and shadows. That's just going to make you have a better picture overall. Get all your little descriptions down. All this stuff looks okay. Boho platform sandals, good. Okay, that's all good. Okay, let's see. What did I pull this one for? Again, we have like a brand. Like, what brand are these? Do they have no brand? Okay, I think what I pulled these for is to say that I don't think I would have, I don't know where you got these, if these were given to you. Like, if they were given to you for free, that's fine and dandy, but this is not, you need to be careful the quality that you source. So, like, these flaws, this right here, and all this cracking in this leather, even though it's leather, Not everything is great. We don't have a brand. Style wise, these aren't bad. I mean, they're actually kind of combat-y, which is a word that should be in here because they've kind of got a combat look. But there just needs to be so much work on this. And I don't even know if these should have been something that you purchased if you purchased these. I want to know the brand. I want to know, they are leather, but unless these are like some really excellent brand, this is too much wear. This right here, that and that are too much wear for you to purchase. If they were given to you for free, great. But otherwise, like even at the bins, unless these were like Doc Martens or, some brand that originally was, $300 or $400 that you're going to be able to sell for 75 or 100. I mean, I think these are going to be hard to sell. You might have paid nothing for them and you might sell them for 23. I don't know, but they're going to be almost impossible to sell because there's no brand, there's no description. I don't know what they are, and they've got a major flaw there and a lot of wear here. So I think you're going to have trouble with these. I think that if you source these, and they're not branded, and these have no brand, I don't know, maybe they do, but if they don't, you need to be careful what you're sourcing when you go to the bins, and you're lucky to have bins. I see people, I'm going to have to give you some YouTubers that bin shop. I don't have a bins close to me, but I see some of the things they get at the bins, and they are selective, and they get some great stuff in the bins for next to nothing, but you have to be selective. You want to fill your closet with things that are quality, that are going to make you a profit, as opposed to quantity that are going to sit forever and ever and ever in a day, and then you're going to get frustrated and you're going to leave the game, and you're not going to want to keep playing. Okay, so let's go back here, and I know, I must not have saved it, but another thing that I wanted to talk about is, I don't know if you're familiar with this or not, but, hold on, I'm sorry, this popped up. I also wanted to talk about, I noticed you had a lot of Lululemon shorts, wherever those went off to. Let's see. But what I was going to show you is, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with this page or not. I cannot find your Lululemon shorts. But anyways, there's this page called Lulu Fanatics. And you can find your item. And I actually found one of the tennis skirts that you had. I just searched it. But you can find your item and you'll get like all the information about it, including stock photos too. So, you know what? Let me just go to skirts, because they were skirts or skirts, one or the other. My computer is running very slowly. There we go. All right, so all these like Lululemon skirts that you have. So the one that I looked for, let's see. I don't see it now. Maybe it's sold. Maybe you sold it. But like Smooth Stride. So we can go in here and look up Smooth Stride. And then you'll get like what those are. And you can find the photos. And this doesn't look like your stuff though. Yours is a skirt. Smooth side skirt. Let me put smooth side skirt in there. There we go. Anyway, so you can find your skirt, and you can have the stock photos, but you can also get like the actual descriptions, like, the style number right there. Some people will search for things like Lululemon with style numbers. You can know what the original price was if you're interested. If you're not sure what the fabric is because the tags have been removed, you can also like take this right here and just like copy this stuff and whatever is whatever is fitting for your listing, and just copy it and put it in there into your listing so that you have like the exact specifications of the details of the features of the skirt and everything. So plus you have access to all these stock photos. Like that's not the skirt that you have, but I mean they're not hard to find. You just literally, if you've already know the name, you've gotten that from somewhere. So, because you've got them named circuit breaker skirt. So let's look at that. There we go. Circuit breaker skirt in black, which I believe is what you just had there. Okay, so here's photos of it. So you can, I'm not saying like use every single one of these photos unless you just really want to, but you could at least use one as your main picture, your cover photo. Like, and this is like a really good idea of like a way to put something together and like, but make the focus your skirt. But I mean, any of these, and then just remove the background so that you have that nice clean white background. But you've got good photos here that you can pick from, and then you've got all this descriptive stuff here that you can take, and there's all the keywords that are gonna help these things pop up when people are searching for them. This has got all that in there, so you can really get a lot of. Oh, it's also showing you like the value of it. That's kind of cool. And you can see like some for sale. That's cool too. But anyways, I didn't even know it did all that. I don't sell a whole lot of Lululemon, but because I just don't have a lot of access to it. But so that's just a site that the couple times I have had it, that's where I go to get some good information. But you can kind of upgrade all of these listings you have here to include better photos, especially if you're really aiming for this type of price tag, which I'm guessing if you're listing here, you're probably aiming in the $50 to $60 range to hopefully sell. So you're gonna do a lot better if your cover photo is one of these stock photos, and then you're also gonna do a lot better if in your description you have, which you've got some of it, it looks like, but if you have all those, like a lot of those keywords that they have in this Lulu Fanatics page. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you that. So let me just go back here a second. Okay, so we've talked about listings, we've talked about pictures, we've talked about titles, descriptions, we've shown how to price comps, kind of. So, Poshmark does give you that little feature when you're in the process of listing. It will give you suggested prices, but I kind of take those with a grain of salt. I let that be like kind of a starting off point for me to think about. But like we talked about earlier, your product, which you have, may be better than those, or it may be worse than those. So you kind of have to like compare it to what they're showing within that statistical range. But you can also get a more in depth, like, so say you want to find out what this Lulu Smooth Stride skirt. Okay, so Lululemon Smooth Stride skirt is a size 10 is what you've got. But let's kind of just look. So let's see what's available. Okay, so it looks like you're right there in the price range, and there's yours right there. Okay, so just keep in mind, once again, there's yours right there, and here's your competition. Okay, so here's what you're competing against. Okay, so you have to be, if you want to be able to ask that higher price of in the $75 range, your listing has to be up to par with some of these other ones that are asking those prices. Okay, so that's good for like, where can I start off? Okay, so where can I start off? You need to compete in this range right here. But then if we go over here to sold items and click on sold, you can see what they've sold for. Okay, so all those like $75, $85 are all fun and dandy. But here's what they're actually selling for, okay? So you can kind of get an idea. And this is a good thing to do when you're sourcing. So this can help you decide, like, okay, so say you came across this Lululemon skirt in a buy sell trade and they wanted, I mean, I don't know, they want $5 for it. Okay, well, $5 is probably a good deal because it looks like you're going to be able to sell it for a minimum 25, 30 at least. But say, so, that might be a good buy, and this is where you comp. This is where you want to look to see, should I get this? But you know what? Guess what? If you're in that buy sell trade and they want $25 or $30 for it, should you get it? Probably not, because unless it's like something super standoutish like this, that's gonna stand out more. But just a black skirt. First of all, there's a lot. You do have a size 10, so that we can even go further and like get into sizes here. Well, I don't need my size because that's not gonna do what I want it to do. No, I don't want my size. I don't know why it's doing that. On the app, you can on the app you can literally just click on that size, and it's going to give you all the size options. Oh, select a category for a size. That's why it's being stubborn. Okay, so select a category. Okay, so women, skirts. Okay, now it should let me do my sizes. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we can look at all the 10s that are available because that's what size yours was that were sold. Okay, so here's what, well, it didn't give me just the 10s. What is it doing? 10s. Okay, it's still not giving me just 10s. I don't know why it's taking that off. Okay, it's being weird. But anyways, that's how you do that. You would go to click 10s and it would show you just the 10s, how much the 10s sold for. But more importantly, not so much of the 10s sold for, but how many 10s are available. Hopefully it will keep it. It's not keeping it. I don't know what its problem is. It's like popping it up there right here and then it's disappearing. But theoretically speaking, if it was working correctly, the 10, it would be like women's skirts 10 and it would only show you the 10s. So you can see like what's available in that skirt and that size, and you can see not only what's available, but what are they pricing it at. This looks like exactly the same skirt right here, but look at how much better their picture is. I mean, heck, still their picture. They're a 12, so they're a different size than you. They got this picture from somewhere. Go for it. I mean, you can click right on there and take it. You don't have to go searching around, and you still got all your other pictures inside there, but there you go. That's your skirt right there. You don't have to do too much. There it is. And they've got price at $85, so I think you're competitive there, but you need to up this listing because nobody's going to click on that if they could click on one that looks like this. Other than they may need a 10 and not a 12. But let's pretend they're both 12s. I mean, here's another one that looks like the same thing in 12. I personally don't like when there's all this. I used to make cover shots like this with multiple pictures, and I feel like the one picture just does better without all the this stuff and all that. But that's just my personal opinion. I feel like as a shopper, if I'm scrolling through here and I know what I'm looking for, like, this is hard to see. This is easy to see. That might not be the one I would pick. I might pick the one for the front angle or maybe even the side angle, but just have one clean picture. Okay, so anyways, that's how you kind of price your comps. So the couple things you're looking for is what is your current competition priced at, because you don't want to be crazy high from your current competition's prices. You want to see how flooded the market is, how saturated the market is with your exact item and your exact size. And are you competitive within the price range? And when you're shopping, you want to make sure that you're buying something for a price that you can sell and make a profit that you're comfortable with, which is a whole nother lesson. And then you also want to look at solds. Like, not only is, what are the listings at currently, but what are they actually selling for? Because people can list things for, $79 all they want, but is it going to sell for $79? So what is it selling at? It might be listed 79, but it might be selling for 30. And when you're shopping, you need to be thinking about that. Not so much when you're listing, but when you're shopping for things. When you're sourcing, you need to think about what is this item actually selling for, and can I profit off of this item? Is there enough wiggle room to profit off of this item? Now, you don't want to list your things for what they're selling at. You want to list them higher because you want to have room for your discounts, your offer to likers, your closet clear outs, and your shipping discounts, and whatever discounts you're comfortable with. That's, like I said, everyone's got to kind of determine that for themselves, as far as like how much markup you want to have on your items so that you have room to discount, and what kind of like is your maximum discount that you can do on an item. You got to figure that out for yourself, and then make sure that that the potential profit and what you can list for and what you can sell for are all falling where they need to fall. And that's how you figure it out, by looking them up right there. All right, so we've looked at price comps, we've looked at sold. And you already know how to relist your stale listings. We've talked about that. You said that in your questionnaire that you relist your listings over 60 days. So just make sure again that that anything over 60 days old, it has to be 61 plus. But anything over 60 days old is able to be relisted through the copy feature and show up on the just in listings, and it will be marketed by Poshmark as something new. I am guilty of kind of falling behind on that from time to time. But you really want to try to stay up to date on that as much as possible. There's some tools that you can use. I don't know, you said you use One Shop, and I don't know if they determine that for you or not, like if they tell you how old things are or not. I use a tool called Seller Insights, and it has a function on it that it gives you everything in chronological order that is more than 60 days old, and then it gives you a direct ability to use the copy function to relist. But I don't know if One Shop does that or not. I'm not familiar with it. But yeah, you want to make sure you're doing that, and it sounds like you are. So let's see. Let's go back to your closet, and I'm just going to do one more little quick glance and see if there's anything else. How far away did we go? We went quite a bit away. Had fun looking for Lululemons, didn't we? Let's see. Come on. Come on. Come on. My goodness. There we go. There you are. Oh, one thing I did want to tell you that I'm very proud of you for is that you have your exclamation point and a space. So that helps you show up on the followers, for people to follow you. Oh, one thing we didn't talk about that I should have talked about at the beginning is right here, you've got a prime real estate spot right here. If you go into your about, let me kind of show you on mine. I guess I have to show you on mine. If you go into your about, you can see mine's right here, this info. I put my sale. I run this all the time, 3 for 30. Top seller, Posh Mentor. So you can get information like that in your statistics to see like if you're hitting any of these that you want to kind of brag about. This is kind of like a brag spot. It's kind of like where you can put a little advertisement. And if you want to change that, how do I change it? I think it's in the about. I could be wrong. It might be in the profile. There it is. My info right there. So you have this space right here that you can write whatever you want in there, and it's going to show up right there on your main screen. It'll show up right there under New York, New York, whatever you want. Okay, so I mean, I guess I feel like we've gone through a pretty good amount of stuff. I feel like you have a good variety. I would start working on, if you do want to kind of like up your profit. I would start working on maybe some elevating of your brands, of what you have. Of course, in order to get good brands, sometimes you have to be able to invest a little bit. And I don't know what your ability is on investing. But, there's multiple ways that you can get stuff. If you have access to the bins, really get into those bins and see what you can get, because a lot of people get some really good stuff in the bins. And I will put either in the video or down in the links, I'll put a couple videos of people shopping in the bins that are really good resellers that you can kind of watch and kind of see what types of things they're finding. Make sure you know your BOLO brands, your be on the lookout brands, brands that are selling really well for a good dollar amount, that are things that you should be looking for when you're digging through the bins, because it might just be that, like me, you're not super familiar with some of the other brands that could potentially be like right under your nose. I would probably struggle in the bins because I don't know all of them either. But, and also kind of like know what your, what's called bread and butter brands are, the things that you don't make a ton of money on, but that you get a steady income from. For example, one of mine is, I would say, Michael Kors. I mean, I would call one of my brands Michael Kors as a bread and butter for me. I have a lot of access to it, and it sells pretty regularly, and I make a little bit of money off of it. It's not necessarily always my highest profit. Another one, Loft and Ann Taylor, I got a lot from those. American Eagle jeans, I would call a bread and butter for me. So, just kind of like know your brands, and when you're sourcing, if you want to be the vintage, I did notice you have a lot of vintage. Not my jam. I do have some vintage, but I don't know that much about it or what it's worth. But if you want to get into vintage, there are a lot of thrifters, resellers that are in vintage that you can kind of watch some YouTube videos on. And Depop does a lot of vintage sales, so that might be somewhere to look. And I'm sure at the bins you're having access to a lot of vintage. But that can be, vintage can be like kind of a bread and butter, but it's also very niched, and you really have to know what you're looking for if you want to be able to make money off of it. So I would say, if you're going to go vintage route, make sure you educate yourself in what's desirable as far as brands, styles, fabric, things of that nature, and what can you actually make money off of. And other than that, really, I would call Calvin Klein. Oh, be careful, you have Klein spelled wrong. So fix that right there, because that's not searchable. If someone searches Calvin Klein, that may not pop up. But I would call Calvin Klein a bread and butter for me also. But yeah, I guess that pretty much sums it up. I just wanted to say thank you so much for allowing me and trusting me to kind of dig into your closet. I hope I wasn't too rough on you, because you really do have a good closet. I mean, I really had to, dig and nitpick to find things to criticize or constructively criticize for you, because you're not doing badly. You're on the right path. I was mostly just giving you things that I think you could improve upon, that might just push you over the edge to really go meet your profit goals that you're looking for. But there's nothing, you're not doing anything necessarily wrong. The basic things that you need to be doing, the sharing, the listing, the relisting, things like that, you're doing those. So that's sometimes the hardest thing to get people to do, because those are the things that are really kind of time consuming. People think, oh, I can just throw something up here and it's going to sell, but it's not. That's not how Poshmark works. The listing has to be, your pictures have to be good. your description, your title has to be good, your description has to be good, your price has to be right, it has to be something desirable, and you have to share, and you have to list consistently, and you have to relist consistently. So those are, it's kind of like this big package deal that you have to do all of it to really be successful on Poshmark, but it is very doable, and you are on the right path. So keep the course, and stay on the path, and I think that you have a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to watching your closet. Thank you again so much, Brittany, and for anybody who's watching this video, if you've enjoyed it, please make sure you click like, and if you enjoy reseller content, closet evaluations, thrift with me's, hauls, what sold, ship with me's, things of that nature, those are that's the kind of content I put out. So if you like that, be sure to subscribe and hit notifications so that when I put out something new, you'll get a notification. And I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you so much.